Hello again, Henry.
Hi, I feel like I just spoke to you like 5 seconds ago. It's because I did in this actual time frame. Henry, why are you on my screen twice? That was terrifying. Hi, how's it going? It's after Campfire. My name's Sam. I haven't shaven in like 2 weeks. Um, because I don't need to, because I'm not going anywhere. It is after Campfire. Let's get started. Um, so I'm trying to think of where I was gonna go with this because I'm like all over the place. I'm hyped up on like friendship juice. Sounds gross. Uh, right. So it's day whatever of student teach. I think it's day 8 of online distance learning, and I am still just calling parents every day to make sure their kids are doing their work. I've had some weird interactions. I've been the villain a couple times. My students like, hey, uh, not doing nothing, and I'm like, hey, to their parents, your son and or daughter is not doing their work, and they're like, my son and or daughter is saying that they are doing the work, and I'm like, they're not, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they start yelling at their kids like right then and there while I'm on the phone. It's a great time. But that's my life right now is just calling parents and feel like I'm going through the motions all the time, ever, forever. Which is whatever at this point, like we're gonna be in quarantine for at least another month from not even from when Henry said from this one because we're not they pushed the quarantine date back until the 30th, so we're not gonna be going back to school till May potentially um, which is insane to think about, but it is what it is, you know? So, that's that. Today is a good day. I asked Henry, where does he go to escape? And Henry stole my goddamned answer. He stole it from me like the monster that he is, just snoop and snatched it up right from my fingertips, right from my little pig hooves. Henry took my answer because my answer is that house that Henry described. For those of you who didn't watch the last video or don't know about this, my extended family, my mom's cousins, who I'm very close with, um, and like they have a house hidden in the mountains about like 45 minutes away from Woodstock, and it's my go-to place whenever the world gets terrible. It's what I do. I go and I hide there for a few days to kind of unwind and try and get my life back together. And I love it for a lot of reasons. One, up until recently, there's no internet there. So, like, I can just go up there and be like, you physically can't contact me. And the other thing is, this is still true. There's no cell phone service. So I could go up there and literally just be completely detached from the world for however long I was there, and I would just kind of hide in the woods, and I would write a lot, like a lot. Like I've written some of my favorite things while I was sitting up there, and they've got a small little like creek river attached, like right on their property that has these beautiful waterfalls. That's just a great place to kind of sit and just breathe and feel kind of just at peace. And so it is my favorite place to hide out. And I'm mad Henry stole it, but also I understand why because that is the whole reason why I go there. It's a very just it has a peaceful, relaxing aura to it that I just can't explain. And so that is my answer to that. Things that I am excited about that I wasn't like expecting. I don't I don't know. This is very difficult. This is a tough question. Um, Things that I'm excited about that I wasn't expecting. Like, I mean, I'm kind of excited for Bleach. I'm not that excited. I liked Bleach, but like, I didn't love Bleach. I was. I don't know. This is a really hard question. I think the most recent example of that, um, was probably the Gorillas. They put out um, a documentary that I was able to go to. Like they kind of surprised people, just put out this documentary, and I was able to go see it live in theaters, and it was awesome, and I loved it. It was fun, but it also kicked off um, the what was called the Song Machine, which is this thing that the girls are doing, just every couple of weeks to just kind of throw a song out there and see what happens. And so for me, it's kind of like this. I wasn't expecting any Gorillaz music this year, but I'm very happy that I'm still hearing it, and I'm very happy that because they're a virtual band, they don't need to all be together to make the music. Um, and so they're still planning on making these Song Machine songs out of nowhere, even during this, and that makes me very happy. So that is my answer. Um, so that's that. Henry says he hopes I'm doing okay, and I'm actually doing better. It's going to be candid here. For those who do not know about my long life of having depression and anxiety, I have depression and anxiety. And the triggers for my anxiety, and therefore also usually my depression, um, are large major life changes that I feel like I have no control over, and a fear of isolation and disconnect from the people that matter in my life. Do you see why this whole quarantine thing has been such a challenge for me? Because it has been. It's been really hard. So recently, I did something that I said that I would never, ever do in my life. Actually, two things really that I said I would never do. One of them I'm a bit more okay with than the other, but the other one I have to like is really difficult. Um, we got Hank the Tank, my dog, therapy dog, certified as an emotional support animal so that he could live in my building with me, which is just a lifesaver, um, a lot. Especially now that I'm working from home and that my job right now, because of the amount of times we spend chasing students and this and that, and how frustrating it is, it's just so nice to be able to stand up, walk away from the computer, and just kind of have him there. Um, and then the other thing, which is the wild part of this, and I don't think it's going to be forever, but temporarily, we made the decision between me, my doctor, and a psychologist to go on to Zoloft, which is an antidepressant. And for those who do not know about my fears for psychotropic medications, I went on them my entire childhood, and they had some really scary effects. So the idea of having to go on a different one when I grew up was something that I was very much afraid of, and I'm still pretty afraid of. But I started it the other day, and we're slowly working to get it kind of going in my system and seeing how I'm feeling. Um, but yeah, I don't want people to have to worry. Uh, and that's that. Um, Leading to that, um, weird kind of ridiculous question. Um, Seeing that we just got off of um, the most bizarre open mic ever, um, what Henry told us his pinky story. I think some of my favorite comments were about people just like how surprised they were to hear the real story. Because for those of you who are watching, who I'm assuming are all from camp, that story is like hidden. I've heard that story so many times, but like I have had friends like for a long period of time that have never heard it up until tonight. And so I think that was pretty cool. But it leads to my question, Henry. What is your favorite kind of story that you'd like to tell about your life? Like, what's a ridiculous story you'd like to tell about your life? Um, that for you just never gets old saying. Like, I know the Pinky story, it might, but like, what's a story from your life that you like to talk about? Let me know. I'd love to hear your story. I probably have heard it. I'm gonna be real here, but tell it in the next After Campfire. Goodbye.